Let's go ahead and take a look at the invasion content. So what we have here is called the mesa table, or all these types of mesa stages, or like the places that tell the story of Mortal Kombat 1. We already went through Cage Mansion and Fengzhong Village. So after Fengzhong, it will open the portal to Sendo Festival, in which case that if you do come across your invasions level, the consumables and the components of the talismans that you acquire for any fights that you encounter, you'll be able to gather all that content with you along the way. For the additional two mesas, such as the Gateway Portal and the Wuxi Academy, those will be unlocked should you unlock the Sendo Festival. And if you reach a certain requirement, I believe you unlock these two. But as you go along, you'll be able to encounter more mesas. Each mesa will contain your collector, shopkeeper, as well as your forge master, which I do believe they will have two different locations in each mesa. So right now, all I have unlocked so far are the Fengzhong Village, the Sendo Festival, the Tarkatan Colony, and I'm currently working on the Shang Tsung's Laboratory mesa. I haven't gone too far, I haven't completed yet, but I do have two more mesas to unlock. In which case, that season 1, the Spectre season, which is Scorpion, I have yet to unlock these two. I believe this is the Living Forest, and this should be like the Fire Gardens, in which case I think Scorpion houses himself in. I believe this is the Scorpion's original Shirai Ryu Garden, which Shirai Ryu's Fire Garden, which means I believe he's already in there somewhere. So we have yet to unlock these two. As long as I finish Shang Tsung's Laboratory, that will give me the portal to unlock the next one, which is the Living Forest. So the way these work is, let me go to an example called the Fengzhong Village. I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about here. Oh, by the way, if you come across that, that's called an ambush, but that should be easy to deal with. Notice why I'm doing so much damage is because I have already passed this.
Li Mei wins.
Okay, notice that for every ambush you'll be able to acquire some random rewards. Right now I just got a consumable, in which case that boosters can help you increase your resistances for every encounter that you go to, whether if it's a tower or a node that you have to be yourself in. I don't really need that much help at all, given I've already passed the Fengzhong Village. Let me just use this booster since I don't really need... notice that my level is 28. This is my invasion level, and I don't know what the maximum level for these what the invasion level is. So if we do come so far, you'll be able to... So the blue arrows represent where you're supposed to go in order to proceed to the next mesa. And after Fengzhong Village, it will take you to Sendo. You're gonna need some special keys for each mesa in order to proceed to the next mesa. So right here is the portal at the end of the mesa. So once you enter, you'll be able to enter to the next stage. For other unlockable content that we haven't gotten yet, before I do that, let me activate the guard's mask so I can avoid some ambushes. In order to avoid ambushes, always use this consumable named guard's mask. This will help you pass through ambushes. Most of the time it'll work, but in some cases like it doesn't, and you'll be able to be forced into an ambush. I think that little screen probably just pops up, probably represents like the ambush that was supposed to happen. So that's what I would suspect it would happen when the ambush takes place. I think if in order to unlock some clues, just like this Toasty, I think you need to unlock a secret fight in order to access a chest that you haven't gone into. But I don't think we don't need it right now, given that my invasions level is so high and so ridiculously high for this mesa. So for your characters, you have your cameo, and up to for the talisman inventory, you are able to have a maximum to 12 talismans. With the rarities of these talismans, I think it just depends, like how many higher level encounters you will have. When you acquire a talisman, it's gonna give you like random bonuses on them. So just be careful on how to use them. Regardless of how many charges are there, be sure that when you upgrade a talisman, you can only upgrade it from an uncommon to a rare, but never a legendary. If you acquire a legendary talisman, you are not able to upgrade given the chances that you will have none. I haven't tested it yet, so I just want to make that known in order for me to confirm your suspicion. So we'll get to that in just a moment. For the relics, these will depend on the encounters that you will have. These are most useful when you go to the gateway portals to practice your encounters with the towers that you need to go to. If a tower represents so many fire environments that you need to deal with, look for some relics that help you resist like some damage from them. As long as you have a relic that represents the damage you need to resist, you'll be able to these relics will be able to help you get through the towers that you need. The not junk is your default experience gain, but since my level is currently level 28, I have no idea what the maximum level for the invasions level is. We're gonna go to the gateway portal, so we'll show you how convenient it is for like any player, any user will be able to access the forge as well as the shop conveniently anywhere you need to go. In the gateway portals shop, you'll able to see random consumables as well as random components. So if you see anything that may interest in getting your talisman build up and running, be mindful of the currency cost. Your current cost is the lower right of the screen. If you want to sell something, be sure to use your tabs. You have 3 different categories that you can look into. The currency value will become low. Just be careful not to overflow your inventory with like random components. As far as talismans, I've acquired so many. Just be mindful of how many talismans you have for like the characters that you can swap in between. Try not to like play so much because the talisman that you may acquire may be a low level, and unfortunately with the 13th talisman you're gonna have to replace one of these or discard one of these talismans that you've worked so hard for, and some talismans unfortunately you might have to give up at least one, and that's something that it's probably regrettable if you probably just worked on that talisman so much. It's very hard to give that up, but you have to choose wisely if you need to give up a talisman. For the consumables, you only have 5 slots, so if you know which ones to encounter, if you know which consumable you have, just be careful how many consumables you can use. If you acquire boosters as a consumable, always leave 2 slots. You don't want to like burden yourself with so many consumables that you might have to replace them, unfortunately. So here I got an Arctic booster, in which case that if I encounter so many ice towers or any type of ice counters, we can go ahead and use that immediately, so that I think it's going to apply to the character that you're on. So let me just make sure. Yeah, I think the resistances only apply to the character. But if I go to my main Reptile, I think he only has... Yeah, I think in order to do that, you have to increase the resistances to that specific character. So what I'm going to do is inject myself with the booster. There. Instead of negative 100 resistance to ice, now I have negative 85. So I don't think this will apply to Li Mei, for example.
Li Mei.
Yeah, so the resistance for Li Mei has not changed, so choose wisely which character you prefer to use in order to use the booster on the character. So you have to keep that in mind. if you're gonna like main your character throughout invasions. But it's okay to swap out different characters in between in case you're having trouble in the tower that you're not very comfortable using or going against. So practice your combos, choose your builds wisely in order to like practice your combos against the towers here in Gateway Portal. If you need to take a shortcut in the Gateway Portal, you can go to specific towers such as the weekly towers here. This will jump to your weekly towers and you have 3 to choose from. In weekly tower 2, for example, you have 2 days to complete it. In this case, you have 6 floors to complete. So why don't we go ahead and I'm gonna swap out my main, or I'm gonna swap out to my main.
Reptile.
So with Reptile in hand, notice all the modifiers on the right side of the screen. All of those modifiers represent a different type of fire modifier. So as long as you're equipped with the gear that you need, you'll be able to like do well enough to get rid of all these fights in the tower. So with after every tower that almost has a level that's just as matching as yours, you'll be able to level up that easily, and that's amazing for like a for like a tower to have that strength of an invasion level. For some towers that have an invasion level that is higher than yours currently, if you're up for the challenge, don't be afraid to do it as long as you have the necessary consumables to do damage and stuff. So fortunately, if there's a tower that only has 1 floor, that should be easy pickings, especially if like a tower that is slightly higher than your own, you'll be able to give a chance to level up that easily. I think depending if you perform a fatality or a brutality, you'll be able to get like a random talisman. Just watch out for your talisman inventory so it doesn't overload your inventory at all, and you won't feel fortunate to discard a favorite talisman that you are currently using for your main or for your off main or for your side character. So. It's amazing how many levels you can load up that easily. For the people who want to do a challenge tower, be mindful of how high the level is. If you can do that many floors in that tower, good luck. It may boost up your evasion level so that you can boost up your stats. For as long as you are able to get your combos down, your fatal blows, and everything that may come in your way with the modifiers, just watch out and have good enough resistances depending on the tower that you may encounter. So that is something you need to watch out for. If you need to go to work and if you're running out of time, you can go to some outlet towers. For some hourly towers, it may depend on the floors as well. So as long as you complete those daily, as long as you complete your hourly towers, you'll be able to get some random rewards as you go along. Okay, this is a bug that I haven't seen before. You have to. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh my god. Oh my god. NetherRealm, you need to fix that.
Fatality. Reptile wins.
Every floor you complete in the tower, you may be able to earn a certain amount of crowns or currency. This is the currency that you have. We have 100 golden coins. These represent currency for your shrine, so if you want to spend 1,000 of those, gamble your way, but don't do it too much. As far as seasonal credits, you can spend those on seasonal content. Just be sure that you pick the ones that you want to show up your drip, and then go ahead and showcase against the other players that you want to go up against. Looks like I reached my maximum evasion level. I don't think I can go any higher than that. So that's it. So all of your characters, however many stats they may have, will be as even or as distributed very randomly towards every type of character that you may see. And once you are high at level 30, you'll be able to continue on with your innovation story, which means we can go back to the mesa and we can go back to Shang Tsung's laboratory. For each time you go to a mesa like this, and if you don't want to deal with any ambushes, consume Guard's Mask. You'll be able to pass through most of these, so you'll be able to avoid any of those at any cost. And if you're up to it, you can still be on the main, or you can go explore, shop around, or complete any type of node that you need to do. Yeah, shops will vary from different collectors from one mesa to another. If you need something that's specific to your encounter, go ahead and buy it. Otherwise, if you're confident enough not to get it, then go ahead and do so without any assistance with these types of consumables. So in Shang Tsung's laboratory, you need to come across a sorcerer's key, in which case, if you see a locked gate, go ahead and interact with it. And this is what it's going to look like. These gates will lead you to the next portal that you can need to enter. But in order to do that, you need to deal with an invasion boss before you enter the next portal in order to go towards the next mesa.
Fight.
These bosses will have like 500 seconds or depending on how many seconds you need to do to defeat this boss. So after you deal with the first round of the invasion boss, each boss will have a different type of effect, so you need to deal with it as quickly as you can. Okay. Yeah, this is so weird. I think that's it. With at least 40 seconds. Oh wait, we have more armor. Sorry. I think after a certain amount of time, the final phase in the invasion boss fight will be able to get rid of that armor that each boss has a specific element to deal with.
Finish him. Reptile wins.
So after each invasion boss, you'll be able to acquire a seasonal skin depending on who you deal with. So in this case, we got the heavy skin, Tumultuous Fire, which looks pretty cool. And at the end of it, you'll also get a legendary talisman, and they will give you the name depending on what that is. So make sure you collect all the loot, and if your character has a seemingly reasonable higher rank, you'll be able to acquire your pallets, the Brutality, and some gear and all the goodies that you need. Now after this phase, let me describe this first. There you go. So since I have a main Reptile, I'm gonna go ahead and consume those boosters. So I don't need to worry about that now. Then, once I'm done, there's the portal. So let's see where this takes us this time. The Living Forest. So this is like one of the last mesas to go into. This looks, yeah, each mesa looks pretty cool in their own right, and wherever your character needs to go, unlock every single node and placement possible in order to proceed to the next one. So that's where we'll be in the Living Forest. We're gonna go ahead and check out the Wuxi Academy. You see, now that I just unlocked the Living Forest, but let's go check out the Wuxi Academy for a second. So if you need a shop, you can go to the Wuxi Academy and check out whatever you need to purchase what you need to boost up your invasions level. These are the only 3 that you may see if you need to level quickly as fast as you can. But since I already have so much crowns, I no longer need to purchase them at all. If you need to reset your stat points, you can go ahead and buy this white and Nenra core, but keep in mind this will only take up an inventory slot in your consumable slot. So just be careful and consider how many slots you need to do that. Yeah, so for the Wuxi Academy you have 2 modes. You can go practice, or you encounter a random combatant in the Wuxi Academy. So I don't believe you do any fatalities on this person, so it just looks friendly enough to give it that you're in the Wuxi Academy, since you're under training in a sense that you need to practice your moves here. We can go back to the mesas, and we can go back to the Living Forest. So these will be your mesa progressions to go to your seasonal final mesa. So we haven't come across a scorpion just yet. So as long as you complete your missions, your mesa missions, if you will, you'll be able to swap out your characters at no time flat.
Brutality. Lee May wins.
Oh, in some cases, for every node that you encounter, you may end up doing random secret fights. So be grateful that you encounter one of these. So these will depend who you're gonna fight.
Sick. Fight.
Too good for you.
Brutality. Lee May wins.
Alright, so I did some shopping at the gateway portals, so I want to showcase like a few consumables that we can do to share. If I'm gonna encounter a fight, and especially like if that person is enchanted by blood, use Crimson Mask to give yourself some armor for that encounter. As far as like attacks and specials, especially if you're having trouble doing like fighting against an opponent that you may have trouble with, some of the enchantments for the consumables are double the attack, like this red potion. So if you need to do your combos, this will help you perform a little bit better if you want to do a lot of damage. Speaking of a whole lot of damage, there's this Lost Ring of Delia. The only lucky uppercut you're gonna have is possibly a Brutality if you just do it all in one. This is probably your one-hit uppercut wonder. So if you're gonna use this, have fun with that. Having that head pop off, and that head will roll all over the floor, which is like one of the most funny, useful consumable if you have trouble dealing with an enemy that you don't want to deal with. I'm gonna protect myself from ambushes, so I don't want to like overload myself with possible talismans. So I don't want to overload or burden myself with a bunch of randomness that I don't necessarily need at all. This is a useful tool to pass through the ambushes as less frequently as possible. Friendship? So if I want to switch them to an encounter that is easier, we'll use this. Use Ashra. Keep the magic talisman. But we can change the relic to resist electrics. So we'll have the medallion rage to equip. This will help us fend off any more electrical attacks due to these modifiers. The living forest mesa is beautiful. Not sure how survive will work, but I think it depends on the elemental theme that you're gonna have to encounter on your own.
Survive.
Electric? Aw, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Ashra wins.
Oh, there's a secret fight. Interesting.
Excellent. Finish him. Fatality. Ashra wins.
Careful with the talisman collection. You can't have 13. Whew. Uh-oh. Which to discard? I don't think I need... I don't need this one. If you're gonna upgrade your talisman, be sure that the chance of success is always guaranteed. If you're gonna like overload like your talismans, I'm gonna show you why legendaries do not work. Since it's already a legendary talisman, there is no need to upgrade, unfortunately. You're gonna have to deal with the bonuses that are given to you. For this one, since I've acquired this recent talisman from the invasion boss back at Shang Tsung's laboratory, this is what you're gonna have. I think the talismans will be dependent however you acquire them, so it's gonna be what you get is what you're gonna use. So if I want to like upgrade a talisman with more bonuses, I have to be sure that all of these will have guaranteed chances. The more components you have, the success rate will be decreased, so try not to overload so much, but just do it one at a time. So you don't have to do too much upgrading. Hopefully, since I have a fire armor talisman, I want to able to give a few more bonuses to it. So let me see. I want to activate it faster. I can have the opponents push away from me. Consider how much it costs before you upgrade. Not all bonuses will be all at once, so consider how much you want to get before you upgrade. And once you're done with your components, that's the animation that's going to look like. And the circle color represents the rarity of the talisman. So if I just want to like upgrade for no reason, but you can't really do too much of, if you can't do too much of that, let's go with a dark one. Yeah, like the forged talisman option will be disabled, so unfortunately you can't really do so much of it. Yeah, that's the way it's going to be for legendary talismans. Any acquired legendary talismans that you have. Clue, Quack X10. I don't know what this leads to, but we're gonna go ahead and do it anyway.
Finish him.
Oops.
Scorpion wins.
There was an error counting. Okay. Sometimes you'll encounter this message. Probably like the servers are so busy, so I'm not so worried about it.
Scorpion wins.
So ginseng essences are important if you want to add a charge, which is going to be very useful. So my guard max just disappeared since I've gone through so many nodes. I want to like showcase another consumable, and see what kind of uppercut damage we had to witness. It's just for fun.
Fight.
Damn! That's a lot of damage. And after that, that's it. the second time you do that, you can't do it. You can't do it anymore. That's so funny.
Now you can rest.
Brutality. Scorpion wins.
That was very anticlimactic though. For every character you play, you will rank up your own characters, and these represents how many things you can unlock from the ranking to the next, from brutalities to gear and everything else that you encounter along the way. You can go on innovations mode or simply go to like towers so that you can rank up your character, and as well as your canvas. Yeah, mainly I've been playing Reptile. That's my main with Serena. This is a combo that I'm used to, so all I need to do is just keep practicing until I play online and see how many people I can interact with. Any ambushes? Ah! Yes! There you go.
Ambush.
That's one. There's a whole lot of weapons.
Wins.
Oh, Arctic Booster, nice. I'm gonna save that for Reptile since that will be my main to do that.
Fatality. Lei Mei wins. Flawless victory.
Nice. Oh, that's a key item that I need to keep. The key torch represents the key item that you need to have in order to unlock the last mesa for the season. So this is probably this is the only way to get in. This is the inventory that you need to have. We already have the cage mashing paraphernalia. So each one, this is for Feinjiang Village. This one's the tribe key. Oh, festival key. That's for the Simba Festival. The Tarkatan Colony, the Sorcerer's Key from Shang Tsung's Laboratory, and the Living Torch. So those are the key items that you need in order to go forward with another mesa. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. That's the majority of the invasions content that I'm showing you. Once you unlock the end of the mesas, you'll be able to acquire whatever Scorpion is going to show you after you defeat him. So have fun with that, and let's keep on fighting. Let's keep playing Mortal Kombat 1.